I'll go down there and scrape stalls and just clean some manure, not necessarily get anyone up. I'll walk back the other way and I'll see a number of cows leaking milk. I think, well, I'm glad I'm not stressing you. I don't know. I mean, I'll look on my phone, see if they're within a few hours to being milked, and then I'll get them up. Otherwise, I won't get them up. I don't want to stress them out or just upset their schedule. A cow may freshen, she gets a little stressed. We see that right away. Before she was stressed, we wouldn't really know she was stressed until she started dropping in milk. But that's probably a 2 or 3 day delayed response from when she's actually feeling stressed. Now we see her drop in rumination within hours. I get a notification on my phone, and if I don't do it that evening, I'll certainly do it the next morning. I'll drench her with a bit of glycol, maybe something else to help buffer her rumen. I'll do that for 3 days, and she will never drop in production. Well, you know, if things go well. I shouldn't say never. Things always happen, but most times they won't drop in production. They'll go back up in rumination after 3 days, and you know, avoided a huge problem.
Definitely not obsolete. When you've got a fresh heifer that doesn't understand the whole milking process, she still needs that calming, reassuring touch when she's going into the robot the first time, because she doesn't know what's going on. We find that the first time putting a fresh heifer into the robot, there's usually a lot of curious onlookers, other cows that are in the barn. And we have to try to keep them back because that can make them uncomfortable as well. But yeah, it usually takes a couple of people standing and just kind of petting them, scratching them, calmly talking to them those first half a dozen times until they understand that, oh, okay, this is okay. That noise is normal. This is a normal thing for me.
There are 150 cows in here, and there are 150 soap operas. They recommend having these waters at the end of each robot where they exit. And I noticed that some cows would not go to the robot because there would be a cow that they didn't like drinking water there. And that cow would stand at the water trough for sometimes 2 or 3 hours. And so other cows would walk to the robot, but there'd be some cows that were timid and were standing there. And so we put water basins on every post all the way.
There's definitely ones that will hang around the robot, trying to be dominant, trying to push others away. There's mostly heifers, though, that try to do that. And I think a lot of times they're just trying to find their place in the herd, too. It's not so much that they're trying to be boss of the robot as much as they're just trying to find their place, and they like this robot and they want to, you know, stay there or something. I don't know.
We move cows in groups. We would never move 1 or 2 cows alone. If we dry up cows, we dry them in groups. And if a cow freshens, well, you know, we don't have cows calve, and you can't control when cows calve, but we put them with other cows that have just calved previously or so on, and that way we minimize stress. You know, if there was a picture to be taken, look at these cows. They're here. They're not normally here. They're here because we're here, right? They're totally comfortable with us. I would say when I was milking in the parlor, that wasn't the case, because I would walk out to the barn and have to get cows up out of the stall, get them to them. I'd be looking at my watch, thinking I got 2.5 hours of milk in here. I got to get going because I got a full day after that, right? And that's not the way cows want to be.